Hi, my name is Bielski, and I'm a graduating senior from Blessed Trinity Catholic High School in Roswell, Georgia, and I will be attending Louisiana State University in the fall. And so today, I just would love to share with you all a small part of my story and tell you a little bit about where life is taking me. To begin, I would love to share with you all a verse from the Bible. It's Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And I've read this verse so many times, but I don't think I really fully understood it until I had to personally look into my own future and figure out where I was going to go in life and what I was going to do. I'm going to a college and studying something that is completely different than what I had planned out for myself in the beginning. About a year and a half ago, I visited a college called Belmont University. The minute I stepped on campus, I absolutely fell in love with the school. And I knew that, from that moment, that's where I wanted to go. And I knew what I was going to major in because they had an amazing college of theology. And I was planning on majoring in Christian leadership because I had such a passion for my faith and wanted to be a leader in the church. And so as senior year went on and I was applying to colleges, I had this plan set in my head that Belmont is where I would end up, and I would major in Christian leadership, and it would just be perfect because it wouldn't be too far from home, and the college wasn't too big and wasn't too small, and I just thought that I would fit right in there, and that's where I would end up. And another school that I ended up applying to was LSU because my mom's from Louisiana, and she graduated from there, and I had grown up a Tiger fan my whole life. And even though I have always loved the campus, I just could never really see myself going there. It always felt too far from home or too big of a school for me and just all around out of my comfort zone. So I had kind of taken the idea of me going there and pushed it to the back of my mind. And so as second semester senior year rolled around and it would soon come time for me to make a decision on where I would spend the next 4 years of my life, this whole plan that I had had for so long about me going to Belmont and spending the next 4 years there just kind of all fell apart. And a lot of things just didn't really work out for multiple reasons. And I was left confused and frustrated and angry because I thought that that's where I was supposed to be because I had planned it out in my head for so long. But at the same time that plan was falling apart, a lot of things really fell into place in regards to me attending LSU. I had really fallen in love with the school in more ways than I thought I ever could. And I just saw so much opportunity there for myself in so many ways. And even though I didn't really understand at first why my plan to attend Belmont had been completely shattered, I had to take a step back one day and just realize that the reason that my plan didn't work out is because it was my plan and it wasn't God's will for my life. And the moment I knew to choose LSU was when I realized that that is where life is taking me and that is where I'm meant to be, even if it's not where I originally thought I would be going. And so I will be attending LSU in the fall, and I will be majoring in psychology because I took a psychology class senior year and absolutely fell in love with the course, and I learned that I can pursue things I'm passionate about while still keeping my faith at the forefront. And so in the future, I hope to either become a clinical psychologist or a developmental psychologist because I love working with children, or a sports psychologist because I've always grown up loving sports. And this past year, I saw my sister go through a major ACL injury, and I saw how much that messed her up more mentally than physically. And I would just love to be able to help athletes mentally in that way. And so I couldn't be happier with where life is taking me now. And as I look forward to my future, I couldn't help but reflect on this experience. And so I think the first big takeaway from my experience is that some of the best laid plans in life can change and not work out if it's not what you're meant to be doing or where you're meant to be going. And I'm honestly so grateful for that because the shattering of my own plan helped me understand where I was meant to be when I was so blind to seeing that in the first place. And finally, I just wanted to thank you for listening to just a small part of my story about where life is taking me. Go Tigers!